Okay, so I know some people have been waiting for me to do another rant. Um, so I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna use this AI generated video as the backdrop. If we just get it to play again.
He is absolutely flying down this ridge. Look at that corner speed,
Okay.
incredible. He's pushing hard, pushing to the absolute limit. This is a battle to the finish. And he takes
Anyways,
the win.
yeah. Okay. Good. Now I just get it to keep playing without the sound. But yes, this is an AI generated image and sequence of like an action sequence. And if this is what AI thinks of mountain biking, then I think we're gonna be okay. Um, in the past, mountain biking has a lot of cross comparison with golf, in that people think it's this elitist sport, um, but I don't think that's to be true. But in the grander scheme of this social experiment, and quite frankly, this terrorist hijacking of capitalism, because it's very easy to undermine a capitalist democracy, or a democracy that practices capitalism. But then again, if you think about it, democracy is at odds and in opposition to communism. In every philosophical argument, capitalism is in opposition also to communism. Communism always ends in an authoritarian dictatorship, as history has proven, because the distribution, through economic means and through force, requires an authoritarian, a singular, not like an oligarchy, like a group of or cabal of people, to rule over society. And that's exactly the issue here. And I'm gonna take this moment to talk about everyone's perennial favorite amongst mountain bikers, and it's not e-bikes versus um, the purest of the pure of human-driven machines, which is the bicycle. Um, in That's of course a little bit more than my opinion. And I think Steve Jobs, when he was still alive, he shared the same opinion that one of the greatest inventions that humanity has ever produced is the bicycle. And the reason why of course, I make this connection between mountain biking and golf is of course the immediate association in 2026 of golf and of basically the Republican Party, and of course, President Trump. Now, there was someone out there that thought that, mountain biking is too hard. It's too hard, and it's too elitist. It's just this really broy, aggressive thing, and we wanna make it more accessible. We want to open it up to more people. We want to bring the money in. But the thing is that, like golf, um, mountain biking is a niche sport, right? And it's very dependent upon locations. So it's not as popular in some parts of the world as it is in others, much like soccer. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want to go around on the field and kick a ball around, and that's your choice of passions, sure, no problem. There's a point at which the hobby becomes your life, an obsession, or your entire profession, your preoccupation. And there was a moment at which, mountain biking went pro, right? They went corporate, and the corporate people figured out, or they were some voices within the corporate world that were like, okay, we got this problem with Chinese manufactured bikes, so we got to bring more people in, and we're going to do it by supporting the rainbow people. And I'm not talking about the UCI, rainbow. I'm talking about the other one. And in my opinion, actually, it's not an opinion, it's an observation. It's not immediately documentable like most social movements, but hindsight is 2020. And this push to 27.5 and 29-inch wheels was always about um, reducing the learning curve for the road specific crowd to break in and spend money on a mountain bike, because, well, roadies were all spending $10,000, $15,000 on time trial bikes and going to these exotic locales and all this other stuff, right? Sports like golf and like mountain biking or skiing are a tourism sport, okay? In order to experience a different kind of variety, you have to go where the land is, right? So that's always been a barrier. Are there places that you can go at the local level? Yes, there are, but um, they're not, of course, a World Cup or a world class venue. Um, I'm not going to say that about Buller Mountain, because Buller Mountain is very humble, although it has some very good facilities. And if you ever come to London, I suggest you go there if you want a little bit of gravity riding, but I don't think it's going to last that long. Don't expect it to be like Quebec or like Horseshoe, even. It's a very small hill. Um, so I'm just saying that because it's in my backyard and because of, well, stuff. Um, but the gist of it is that if you don't support the local level, then the sport does not survive. And if there's no children, then there is no sport. No, does everybody understand that? No kids, no mountain biking. Does everyone get the message now? Because someone didn't get that memo. Someone didn't get the memo that the rainbow people would be, or the very presence of them, would rub people the wrong way, or it would cause a covertly hostile environment, whether you touted it to be or not. And people vote with their wallets. That's that again, as I was saying at the beginning of this video. That's one of the foundations of a democrat, a democracy, right? Pure democracy allows the population to vote, right, for what they want, and the majority of people don't want this the I don't know what to call it, without like sounding contrived. Uh, just this onslaught of propaganda telling everyone that it's okay to be a certain way, but if you don't follow, but that if you don't, you're in opposition to this, then you're going to go to jail for it. And that is not democracy. That's not democracy. Okay, that's communism. And in Canada, it's true, right? We live under a constitutional monarchy, which means that we are not a democracy. We're a democracy for the upper crust. That's the way it goes. And the way that you rise within our society in previous was to be exceptional. You had to be good at something. No one gave a shit about your political affiliations, like what your cause celebre was. Could you hack it? Could you finish the race or not? And did you finish the race or did you not? Because if you didn't finish the race, then you're not a competitor. And that's why it's so trendy right now, in the here and now, in 2026, um, to not just because of the turnover in demographic and economics, or socioeconomics rather. That's more accurate. Um, it is because, well, we want something tactile, right? You want something that people can't fake, and that you can't just bully your way through. You either put the pedals down, or you don't, right? It's no one's going to respect you for just not showing up, doing things, saying things, and then not showing up, right? Because if you wanted to succeed, you have to show up. And if you show up, then more people will show up. And if you keep doing that, then that's how you build a community. Um, that's an easy lesson to learn. And how do you build a reputation? That's another easy lesson to learn. Is just show up. Keep showing up, no matter what resources you have. Um, what else can I say about this? So this introduction of the victimhood Olympics is truly what ruined the sport for so many people. And I have to say, in the back of my mind, that was done on purpose, because it was like it was perceived to be, via paranoia, this stronghold for white supremacy and for like homophobia. And I don't believe that. Again, there's the bicycle is just one of these things that people latch on to for whatever particular reason, whether it's an association with their childhood or the feelings of freedom and joy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, but then they just have to insert their genitals into it. Like it was so ham-fisted. You were like, what's going on here? Why is everybody's attitude changing? Why am I even showing up anymore? All I just wanted to do was race a bicycle. I didn't want to have to support all this other rainbow victimhood shit, because there are no victims in a race. You understand that? Everybody agrees. When you get to the hill, everybody agrees by the same rules. Everybody knows what they're doing. You know what you're in for. It's like stepping out onto the the golf course, and it's about to rain. You know exactly what you're doing, and you know that if you keep doing it, you're going to get struck by lightning. So, there was this purposeful intent in the back of some people's minds to ruin the sport, not just for the people doing it, but for their children as well. You got to remember that people vote with their wallets, and what people voted for was mediocrity, because we had it right the first time with 26 inches. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. There's ways. There's ways. We've been through this already. I don't know how many old school engineers have been laughing for years. Have bicycles gotten better? Yeah, downhill mountain bikes have gotten a lot better. But you know, some things haven't. Some things will never change, and some people will not ever compete. It's not because they're unable to, but because they're afraid to. And so they'll create this new game in which they can win, in which when and where the situation in which the rules are set by them, and that way they will always win. And that is not competitive. That's not in the spirit of competition. That's in the spirit of a spiteful um, resentment and a desire for glory where there is none, because you didn't work for it, and it wasn't for you to steal. It wasn't there for you to just take it, because it was never yours unless you had earned it. And that's one thing that they would never do. And that's why they will always lose